Well, welcome back here at the Hive for our second duel of the night. We have Howard Lake Waverly Winstead taking on Badger Greenbush Middle River. I'm Jason Groth with Lance Rock as we get ready to go for what should be another fun duel here at the Hive. The Yellow Jackets just picked up a 39-34 victory over the Lakers. Now the Lakers are going to try to take down the Gators here at the Hive.
Right, and really impressed this last one with Howard Lake Waverly Winstead Lakers. Came in 15-8. Some quality wrestlers. I know they're missing at least one piece to their puzzle, if not more. But great job. Took Perham right to the wire and went into heavyweight. They're sitting number 3 in their Section 4A. So this is a nice look for Badger Greenbush Middle River, too, as you get to see another quality A opponent from kind of the opposite parts of the state. So excellent kind of center location for both of these squads, both in A, looking to make their mark maybe. Maybe a little tougher for the Howard Lake Waverly Lakers as they have Atwater Grove, Cosmos City in theirs, and kind of a perennial powerhouse in the last few years in Class A. So Badger comes in tonight out of Section 8A, which is familiar for the Yellow Jackets, as we're in 8AA. They're lean and mean in Class A, and just bring in a kind of a host of wrestlers that I'm excited to see, Jason.
Yeah, the Gators come in with the record, like you said, 19-6, but they're coming off a pair of tough losses recently, dropping one to Frazee, 38-30, as well as to Bemidji, 55-11, wrestling up a couple of classes against the Lumberjacks there. I mean, they, like you said, they come in 132. Got to look at Tony Olson, third in the sections last year. 138, got the section champion Garrett Underberg, who lost to the state champion last year. Caleb Vakura was third in the sections, ranked 9th in Class A by the Guillotine. You got Nathan Wagi. I'm going to screw that one up. I apologize if I do. You got Dominic Vakura at 220 and Dustin Beto at 285.
Right, and when you look at 220, I'm excited to see this young man as Dominic Vasura comes in, and he is already signed to wrestle at NDSU, and this kid has all the tools and all the makings, and it's going to be a fun one for you to see, especially if it ends up being Mossford, who we watch wrestle. He is currently rated 9th, and Vasura is rated number 1, and his last year's state champion was 52-1 last year. Again, I said an NDSU wrestling recruit, and definitely deserving of that. So really a nice job, and there's a few at 170, they're rated number 9. At 285, they're rated number 10. Again, at 220, rated number 1, and they've got a host of other ones. So definitely, I think, going to be another great duel. Really excited to see some of these matchups, and then to think about the last duel tonight when we have Badger Greenbush Middle River going against the Perham Yellow Jackets. So I think if we throw it to a quick break here, Jason, maybe a 30-seconder or something, we'll be ready to roll.
Hi, I'm Jen Hendrickson, mortgage lender at United Community Bank. Whether you're buying, building, or refinancing, we are here to help you through the process and answer all of your questions. Mortgage rates are great right now. You can check out our website at ucbankmn.com to get pre-approved, sign up for Rate Watch, and check out our mortgage rate calculators. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So we're back here at, sorry, Jason, I just kind of took over. You said, are you ready? And I jumped the gun here a little bit. But anyways, welcome back to Perham here. And you can see official Paul Beach going over some last-minute instructions with both groups. And really exciting night of action. And thank you, Joe Johnson, for a little treat up here to us. We appreciate it. But I think this is really going to be a fun one, and a little harder for me to call when I don't know these wrestlers quite so well, but you call them once and you kind of get used to what they do, and so it's going to be interesting to see, and I know this is a really good matchup for both clubs, kind of seeing where they fall now with tournament time right around the corner.
It's going to be interesting to see also looking at some of the weights and the situations where how each other weighed in, the toss, the matchups that we could potentially see, and how this one plays out, because we talk about the potential one that we might see later at 220, but depends on how the matchups go if we see that one or not.
Right, and there can be some jockeying around. We know that the Lakers had to in the last one because of a couple open spots. So, that coin flip can make all the difference in the world. But I think we're ready to get started here, and I'll wait to make sure we have the right wrestlers on the mat, and we'll go.
Braden Graham for Howard Lake Waverly Winstead, and Christian Berg for the Gators.
Okay, so Graham comes in. He didn't wrestle the first one. They wrestled somebody else against the Yellow Jackets. So this is our first time seeing Graham. Graham, a 7th grader, Berg, an 8th grader for Badger, Greenbush, Middle River, the Gators. Minute 30 to go. A lot of hand fighting here. Again, probably two teams that aren't real familiar with each other, haven't seen each other, so we might see a lot of that in this opening round, just to kind of get used to the style, see where we're at. But a really nice-sized 106-pounder in Christian Berg. You can tell as he's slunched over, he's definitely has the height advantage here. But Braden Graham, a well-built young man, and I think you can say that from my vantage point, seeing the Lakers the first time, they're pretty well built and have found their way to the weight room. I can guarantee it.
Indeed.
50 seconds remain in the first period as 0-0 tie. And again, I really do believe that we'll start to see both teams open up a little bit, maybe as they get a little bit of a feel of what style they like to wrestle. Just to set this up for you, we're facing the black mat on the track at Perham Gymnasium. And to the left of us, you might hear a whistle or two. There's some JV matches going on over on the yellow mat, and you can't see that at home. I don't know if they're Facebooking them. They have in the past, so you may want to look up Perham Wrestling Facebook if you're looking for a JV match. But we're going to give you, with 5 seconds remaining, all of the action that we can here on this opening one, and a great – both guys in an arm drag there, and neither guy wanted to give it up. So fun for a 0-0, a fun start to this match. So 0-0, and we have Graham taking the down position.
I think we're going to have many exciting matches, I think, in this battle here, and I think it's going to be a unique night overall in general, seeing these squads battle up as they get ready for what should be a fun postseason run potentially.
Yeah, and escape for Graham right there, so he takes the early 1-0 lead. And so the Lakers, Howard Lake, Waverly Winstead, will be the guest on our scoreboard tonight. So if I know you don't have a scoreboard, so we'll try the best we can to keep up with you and let you know what the score is. 1:30 remaining in the second period, and 1-0 lead for Graham. And speaking of tournament time, it's next week already for wrestling, and so we're covering these the three matches in the triangular tonight. The Yellow Jackets will turn around and have a triangular tomorrow afternoon as well. So 6 matches in a matter of about 18 hours. So they'll be tested going into tournament time.
And it's kind of perfect for them coming off the tough layoff that they had, so that you want to get back in action as much as you can. They're able to do that with a couple of duels tonight, maybe a duel and a half tomorrow, if you want to call it that way, as we'll talk about that situation later tonight. But as this one is 1-0 in the second period, scoreless on the scoreboard, we'll keep you up to date on the score in the chat as well as much as we can verbally throughout the broadcast.
Right, Jason, thanks. Yeah, that is a lot of stuff going on, and we'll try to keep you in tune to what's happening. again, two young wrestlers here, and at every break you see both coaches getting up, kind of giving them just a little bit of, hey, try this. A lot of this arm drag stuff, so it's going to be interesting. It's a little bit, to me, a little bit of a power and balance move, so we're going to see which one goes. So here we got underhooks trying, and they push away from the underhooks with 1 second remaining. In the end of the second, 1-0. So my guess is, and I'm correct, that Berg is going to take down and try to tie the score at 1. And so Berg goes down to start period number 3.
And if you're just tuning in, this is Badger Greenbush Middle River against Howard Lake Waverly Winstead. It's Badger Greenbush Middle River in the black and green, while Howard Lake in the dark blue, yellow, and white.
Armbar action going right now for Graham, and he's got it in there pretty good. He's got to make sure. Oh, now he got the double. So he kind of gave the threat to the 1, ended up getting the 2, and this would be huge. He's trying to walk it forward. He's got a lot of time, minute 25 seconds, and you know you want to take your time in this. And now the coaches are saying, get over the top, and there's the count started, and this is really tight. And so if he can settle in here with a minute 13 to go, this is one of those moves that's hard on shoulders. It's hard to watch sometimes, and sometimes as you're a parent, you just hope for the pin, and there it is. And what a great start for Graham. And a little change up there at the beginning of the lineup gives them 6 points right off the bat, and a nice start there for the Howard Lake Waverly Winstead Lakers.
And honestly tell you, nothing looked I mean, the move looked good for Graham, but can't imagine how much pain that's going to be in the shoulders there, and trying to swing back way to get out, and nothing to do. And there's a forfeit at 113, so it's now 12-0.
Tony Ballman was a nice-looking wrestler in that first round, and for an 8th grader, it handled himself well. So 12-0, like you said, Jason. We'll head right into 120.
Now wrestling at 120 pounds for the Lakers, Joel Martin, and for the Badger Greenbush Middle River, Bout DeZeller.
So Bodie DeZeller coming in for Badger Greenbush Middle River, a freshman. Bodie DeZeller and Joel Marketon, an 8th grader, wrestling for Howard Lake Waverly Winstead Lakers. So again, a quick pin and a quick forfeit, which acts like a pin, and 12-0 in favor of Howard Lake Waverly Winstead. And here we go into action, and a quick 2-point takedown for DeZeller. And he looks really aggressive, and he's tying up those arms, walking the head a little bit, or trying to walk the head. Let's see if he can get that arm position where he walks that over the top. And here he's going. He's getting the back count, and two so far. Let's see if he breaks that 45, and he does not. So same move still intact, so 2 points held by the official, and there the count comes. And he kind of relocks into the headlock position, but a nice job there by Marketon, kind of squirreling out of there. Points on the board with 40 seconds remaining.
Dolazard up 4-0 early. A lot of coaching taking place. You may be able to hear in the background.
Right, and I'm just watching. He is really good with this upper body stuff and gets more points on the board, and it's being held because it's in the same 15 seconds remaining. So 7-0 for sure, but he's looking for the fall here, and he's had it tight all this whole period. So there comes Marketon out just as I say that with 1 second remaining. He's now getting back points. So we're going to see how this all washes out. We'll watch the scoreboard here, and we'll give you the best we can. It looks like it's going to be 7-2, but I thought there was some back points being counted there, but I guess I was wrong.
So did.
So 7-2. Neither coach is arguing, Jason, so I guess I'm going to go with it 7-2.
7-2, but I think the HLWW coach was hoping for an extra 2, as you said. He was doing a couple of signals, but
right.
He wasn't going to argue, but he was hoping for the extra 2.
Right, so here we go into the second 7-2 lead. Both wrestlers kind of in a position where they can score. Looks like Marketon's trying to work his way up, but as he does, Deslar just is really heavy on his head, just kind of pushing him down, not allowing him to do what he wants to, and his length is really causing a fit right now for Marketon. 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining. And now he's got a hold of he had a hold of the leg, and I thought maybe we were going to go over for a few more back points. And I'm sure the Gators are looking for some bonus points right now. But just as we always say that, then Marketon made a couple nice moves there in the first period. .40 seconds remaining.
A little more energy in the gym for match number 2 here.
And it always seems like that first one's kind of the warm-up. And this is, like I said, when you get two teams in the same class, there's a little bit more on the line than when we have the Double-A Yellow Jackets versus. And I would guess the nightcap will bring some of this fireworks as well. 25 seconds remaining. Nice shot there by Marketon, but met with, and I think we're going to get a 2 here. And there it is. Just a nice step over the top to give 2, and I don't know if our score clock, there we go, it's 9-2. I thought we had an escape there too, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what's going on. I thought there were more points on the board, Jason, than there was, and I guess that's a sign of a good match.
It definitely is indeed, and we've had some unique things with the scoreboard, so we shouldn't jump the last few days with the scoreboard.
I'm just going to watch and report what I see right now. So we're into the third period, 9-2. Again, here we're back into that same situation, dragging that arm across. And Marketon's doing a good job of being flat. That arm is pinned behind on his back, so I know Paul Beach is watching that, looking for arm angles and making sure that the safety with the wrestlers. And minute 30 to go, and definitely I would think the Gators are looking for bonus points here. As if riding time were a factor, like in college, that bonus point would be secured with the riding time. As we've seen a lot of riding time for the Greenbush wrestler.
Well, you mentioned trying to get bonus points as a team score. You gave up 6 by a forfeit, but now you're potentially going to have your bonus points erased, but you recovered.
There's a headlock, so 2 more points for a takedown. And now he was trying to scoop the head, but Marketon's doing a great job of Bodie's looking at the ceiling, kind of all the things you teach those young wrestlers. And there's the fall with 45 seconds remaining. So Deslar with the win by fall. It cuts that lead in half. The Zeller does a great job of, he had a lot of action, upper body type stuff. So that's one of the things that is fun to watch in wrestling. So 12-6 your score in favor of the Lakers. Jackson Janasek in for the Gators against Caleb Bosey for the Lakers. Bosey, an 8th grader, Janasek, a 10th grader.
So both guys weighed in 120 wrestling here at 126.
So, yeah, here we start with the changes, and that's why thank you for your patience. We're not trying to keep you in the dark here with who's wrestling, and you probably know better than we do, but we want to make sure we have the right wrestlers on. And Kayla Bosey with a nice kind of double leg, but a little bit higher, and just picks up Janicek and returns him nicely to the mat for the first 2-point takedown. We have 1 minute remaining on the clock. 1 minute, a 2-0 lead right now for Bosey. And I think we commented earlier about Caleb Bosey, how accomplished he seems for an 8th grader. And then we did a little research, and he was last year's section runner-up, placed 6th at state, and is rated 9th in the state of Minnesota.
And Bose is what we've been informed on the pronunciation.
We went with what I said Bose the first round, and then the table said the other way. So I think they chose the other model as well, and so I'm glad. Thank you, listeners, for helping us out tonight. So Bose is doing a great job. Got a nice ride in here. Could end up in a stalemate if either wrestler goes for it here, but nice job, a nice ride. You can tell he's comfortable riding with how his chest is on the back, shoulders doesn't give much of an opportunity to, there's no separation there with 17 seconds remaining. So a nice ride, 2-0 lead, and we'll see what happens of whose choice it is and where we go from there. So again, here comes a chance for a little tilt or a power half thrown in now, but we're going to run out of time, I believe, and we do. If that would have came about 6-8 seconds earlier, we would have had some back points.
Jan Oshank and Bose on the mat right now. Overall, it's 12-6. BGMR trailing in the team stand.
One thing both teams so far, Jason, it's been impressive. They're both aggressive. There's an aggressive style of wrestling. There's 2 points and a nice circle behind out of bounds. So potentially a position where maybe a leg could have been grabbed. Bose does a nice job of circling and working his way out of bounds. 4-0 lead with 1:44 to go in the second period. Quick stand up, but a nice trip back and pins him to his back. So a nice move here. He's got the arm tangled up. It looks like 3 points maybe being awarded here. Got that arm trapped, and there's the 3. Makes it 7-0 with 1:22. A nice tight. Got to be careful with that arm on the back. You want to keep that elbow tip down. Otherwise, we'll get a potentially dangerous here, and sometimes the wrestlers kind of throw that arm in harm's way trying to get out of this move. But definitely one of those spots that I certainly wouldn't want to be in, as I don't know my arm would go that far backwards, Jason.
I know mine would not. Yeah.
So nice job here. Caleb Bose is definitely showing us why he is rated in the state right now at 9th at 120 pounds and placed in state last year. And I know for certain with my son, coming off of a 9th grade year where he placed at state, confidence is at an all-time high that next year when you've placed at the biggest stage in Minnesota, it's really, really nice to come back to these smaller gyms and you feel that confidence. And he's sure showing it as he locks up a cradle here, and he's just cinching it really tight, and we'll see what, with 13 seconds left, he's going to have to make a move here, but cradles are a little dangerous. You don't want to go too fast or you end up on your own back. And here he pulls him over just in time to get a count. And he will get 2 more, I believe, there. 2 more back points. So takes a 9-0 lead heading into the third period. So 9-0 right now has secured that major decision. And they both go neutral to start the third.
And Bose has definitely been a guy that I've been impressed with here tonight for this Howard Lake Waverly Winstead team. He had a nice match earlier against Perham, and he's following it up here with another nice one.
Right, I believe he had a pin in the first match wrestling at 120. And so nice job by him. And this is where it's fun to see. And like I said earlier in the first broadcast, these are the names you start to remember because you're hoping to hear them or see them when it comes state tournament time and go, oh, yeah, we watched them wrestle in Perham. So Badger Greenbush has a lot of those kids, too, that I'm really excited to see and hear because now when you hear their name on the radio, you can put a face with the name, and that's what we're trying to bring to you tonight is a lot of quality wrestling and a lot of quality wrestlers.
And it's kind of unique. We've talked about in earlier broadcasts what this COVID year has brought, and wrestling has kind of been uniquely hit by it as well without the tournaments like you're used to seeing. But you're seeing a lot of different matchups that you normally don't see in a regular season, and I think that's been kind of exciting this year.
Right, and it seems like with 45 seconds to go here with a 9-0 lead, but it seems like there's a couple theories of thought. A lot of people like the weekend tournaments. You get 5 matches in. I've really enjoyed bringing competition back to the home gymnasiums. It'd be fun now if the restrictions were lifted and this place was packed and we had all different people from different towns in here. I kind of like the feel of going back to these triangulars. It might be a little tough on kids, a lot of weigh-ins Tuesday, Thursdays, but then you have Saturday, Sunday to kind of recover and get your body back. So it'll be interesting to see what effects it has later on.
And yeah, a lot of those tournaments, individual tournaments are great. You get a lot of good matches that way, but I like more of the team aspect that is brought to it with the duels and the triangulars.
Right, and nice win there, major decision. So it puts 4 more on the board, so 16-6 in favor of the Lakers. We'll head into 132. 132, and this looks like it's going to be Casey Deers, if I remember right. He had a nice match against the Yellow Jackets. And we'll
132 pounds for the Lakers, Casey Deers. And for the Gators, Dan Janisek.
That's Dan Janisek.
Okay, Dan Janisek is an 8th grader. And so Deers was a nice-looking wrestler in the first one that we covered. And this will be an interesting match to see if this is where the Lakers are looking for bonus points. And there's an early takedown on a nice go behind there. But back to your point there, Jason, it's really fun to see these triangulars happen back in the gyms. The downfall is if you run into some teams that can't fill a roster. And when that happens, it makes kind of for a long night for the opposite teams when you're going out and taking forfeits. Now, the good part to those teams going to tournaments is you can take 3-4 really good wrestlers, get them really good competition, and make it more worthwhile. So there's
a lot of good counterpoints.
There's a lot of debate that can happen there, and a lot of people who are a lot smarter than I am are making those decisions, and I'm thankful for that. So 2-0 yet here, and 35 seconds remaining. So 2-0 in favor of Casey Deers, who's a senior, against Dan Janisek, 8th grader. So he's doing a remarkable job. I think he was probably put out there for one mission here maybe, is to not give up bonus points, and he's succeeding so far as we hit 15 seconds remaining and only down 2-0.
And, on back to that point, we're going to see it tomorrow when Perham's here hosting a team that's going to bring 5 wrestlers. It's great for them in that program that they're still competing. It's unfortunate for them in the team-wise in that aspect where they're a group that would probably benefit from those type of weekend tournaments.
Right, and that's the hard part, and that's where I think the sport of wrestling is doing a good job of stepping up and making it happen for teams that can't fill that full roster, still inviting them to wrestle these triangulars. And it's just so important to the sport of wrestling to keep kids involved, as it is in every sport. So hats off to the wrestlers and parents. If you're if you listen to this later or whatever, how hard your kids work, and they all want a chance to compete. So great job for getting this to happen. And this is where it's nice, where you have 3 squads that are fairly full in the lineup.
And speaking of working hard, I know we're kind of talking over this one, but here's a battle right now, 2-0 in the second period with 1:27 to go.
Right, and Deers, I think, is kind of a big move wrestler from what I remember. So, again, he's kind of got that single underhook under there. I would suspect him to look for some sort of move here where he kind of gets that toss, maybe gets them to their back right away and gets the 2-point takedown plus some back points here. But, man, Dan Janaszek he's wrestling really, really well. He's got his base under him. He's using his leverage, and a strong kid for an 8th grader. You know, we talked about that earlier. 8th grade young man muscle versus senior man muscle is a lot different, but it's not showing up so far in this match.
Kind of almost looked at the end of that match there. Deers looked a little frustrated a little bit there, and they go off the edge and wrestling hard again.
And Deers looks like he's going to step up the pace here a little bit, and Janaszek met that, and they both went, and a quick reaction by the head coach from Badger kind of kept both kids from landing off the mat, and when that full momentum gets going, there's not much room outside the circle on these mats, so a nice job and a quick reflexes there by Isaac Novacek to stop that. So
19.4 seconds to go, second period, 2-0 is the match score, 16-6. The Lakers lead on the team scoreboard.
Stalemate there, 10 seconds remaining, and you sense a little frustration from Deers, and that's a great sign for Dan Janaszek, because when you sense that frustration, sometimes a wrestler will do something they're not used to doing, and there's a throw, and man, it almost ended up in favor of the Gators there. So I think this is going to be fun, and one that I thought maybe the Gators were putting out an 8th grader. I think they're going to win this one now. So exciting match, and maybe a key turn in this match right here.
That's going to be interesting how the matchups continue to go throughout as Deers gets the point there to make it 3-0. We're at 132 with 1:30 to go in the third.
Nice little stand up there to get it, and it seems like now they're settling back in. We kind of had a flurry of a little bit of, I would say, wild wrestling, maybe not as controlled as we've seen it.
I think these kind of looked like off to the side there after that one little breakup when they both went off the mat, and then he went for that surge right towards Janaszek, and it seemed to kind of light the fire a little bit for Deers, but now it's more calm after that about 30-second spurt there.
Right, and a couple of those things where Deers tried to throw, and the throw didn't end up the way he wanted to. Maybe says to himself a little bit, that's maybe not the move I want to use here, but 3-0, 45 seconds remaining. So anybody's match up to this point, and a really fun one. Little double underhooks here. Kind of in a stalemate position maybe, and there it is.
Unique style. It kind of reminds me a bit, looking back in the last few years of pro fans, maybe sometimes when you see with a Dylan Fudge type match where you don't know don't know what you're going to end up getting.
And one thing, Dylan was one of those wrestlers that just kind of, he went for it. I don't see Deers quite going for it like the way Dylan Fudge would go. But I get what you're saying.
I was going with that 30-second stretch there.
It's that hold your breath, like, are you going to get pinned or be pinned? And it worked out for Dylan Fudge probably 9.8 out of 10 times. So fun match here, 8 seconds remaining. A nice job and a really nice 8th grade wrestler here for Badger Greenbush and Janaszek. And they kind of tangle right to the end, and the little respect there as they went through. But 3-0 win for Deers makes it 19-6 on the score clock here, and we'll head in. 38 pounds.
It'll be Hunter Decker and Tony Olson for the Gators.
So senior and senior here. Tony Olson's one that we highlighted in the pre-match. He was third in sections last year. so close to making it to state, 33-17, which is really a great record. And I know one thing from watching Badger Greenbush Middle River, they don't shy away from competition. So last year when we were doing full tournaments, they were at the Rick Lee. They were at all of the big tournaments. So that 33-17 came with a lot of great competition. So look for some good things here from Tony Olson.
Well, even when you mention those tournaments, you look at their schedule this year, some of the teams that they faced some teams that we're familiar with the Grand Rapids, the Detroit Lakes, Hibbing, Bemidji, Frazee. So even without the tournament style, they're still loading up that schedule as much as they possibly can.
And most of those that you listed there were AA or AAA schools. So not backing down from competition really is kind of that iron sharpens iron type of mentality that Badger Greenbush Middle River's had for a long time. On the other hand, we have Hunter Decker, who's also a senior and a really nice wrestler on his own. As we see Tony Olson get the takedown with 35 seconds remaining. Nice little takedown there, and we'll see if he works for some points here. He's kind of got a parallel ride going here, so I think he's going to have to work to his side or get his legs in, one of the two, before we get a stalemate or most likely a stalemate. Here he works off to the side. And looks like 10 seconds remaining. There may go off the mat, may not. He's trying to pull that shoulder over, get that back exposed, but I don't think it's going to happen with 3 seconds remaining. But he does with 2 seconds remaining. Official Paul Beach calls him off the mat, so we'll get a restart. And 2 seconds remain in this one. So 2 seconds, and there's the end of your first period with a 2-0 lead for Olson.
Again, Howard Lake Waverly Winstead leads 19-6 on the team scoreboard. Heading into the second period here at 1:38.
Olson's choice, he defers. Decker takes the down position, looking for that 1 or maybe 2, ends up on his back on a roll. Got caught trying to Granby out of there, and so we got back points happening here. Paul Beach down, looking for how flat it is. Got the 5 count, so 3's in there. Now he's just tightening it up, and there's the fall. And that, I think, is a big, big pin for Tony Olson. And we talked about him being one of those quality wrestlers that the Gators were going to need tonight. So 19-12 now on your score clock. 19 for the Lakers, 12 for the Gators.
Sounds like we'll see Wiley Wiegerts.
Now wrestling at 145 pounds for the Lakers, Wiley Wiegert. And for the Gators, Garrett Underberg.
And Garrett Underberg, who weighed in at 138.
Yeah, and I don't know if these were the weigh-ins, Jason. This is what they gave us for the weigh-ins. Garrett Underberg was a section champ last year, and we talked about this Wiegert early in this one, and was 3rd in the section last year as an 8th grader, 23-9. He comes out and puts Underberg right to his back, and he's got 2-3 points near fall, but he's looking for 6, and I think a minute 20 to go is a long time with how tight he has got this, and he was impressive in this first one, in the first match too, Jason.
He was definitely having an outstanding day today in that battle against Jack Fudge, and gets the fall there now and extends that Laker lead.
And the first one, what you're talking about, was 5-0. He gave up a stall point at the end. 5-0 to Jack Fudge, who's 3rd in the state in AA last year. So this Wiley Wiegert is a name to write down and watch as we keep going. Brogan Bido, a 10th grader for the Gators, and I missed who they said is out there for Howard Lake, and I think this is the one they threw in earlier too, Jason. And I apologize, so if someone's listening and can get us a name, that would be awesome, because this wrestler is not on our program or our list right now, and he's done an outstanding job in both of them. Has the early takedown and throws in the cradle, but all of a sudden, this is what we said about the cradle too fast, but he gets out of it. So buyer beware on those cradles. When you try to pull somebody over the top of you, if he slips, if your grip slips, you're going to end up on your back.
I'd like to thank one of our listeners. It's Stephen Heber on the mat for
Stephen Heber. Thank you, listeners. Glad that you're chiming in, and glad that you could follow along. I know it's a trip for you, so I'm glad that you can watch, and we're doing the best we can for you, bringing your action. So 2-1 with the escape there. So a good fast start to this match with 40 seconds left. Good job wrestling right off the edge of the mat, but physicality, I think, is what's showing through in this one. Beto is a 10th grader wrestling for the Gators. So 30 seconds remain, 2-1 lead.
Heber's listed as a 9th grader.
Wow, they have some nice-looking athletes. Compliment to your weight program if you're listening from Howard Lake, Waverly, Winstead. These are some put-together kids that we're seeing in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, all the way up. So glad that you could come to Perham and bring your wrestling program. So there's a stall, and the stall was for backing off the mat. And usually that gets you a stall, and then there was a headlock and another headlock, but they ended up off the mat, so no harm, no foul.
I'll close out the first period, 2-1, favor Heber. Lakers 25-12 on the scoreboard as a team.
Heber takes the down position, looking to extend his lead. Quick stand up right off the whistle, breaks the arm, turns in, just a textbook escape there for a 3-1 lead. And he's right back in on the attack. He kind of inside collar tie there, tried to pick that far ankle, which is a nice combo, and a lot you see in college is that kind of that heavy snap down, and when they have to come forward, you ankle pick that back ankle, and there's nowhere for the wrestler to go. So minute 19 remaining in the second period, 3-1 lead for Heber. And again, off the mat they go, and nice job by the Gator coaching staff as they're right there making sure the wrestlers don't go off the mat. No takedown awarded. Again, a lot of upper body type stuff on the takedowns, and doing a nice job, but it's only 3-1. So the way this action's been, you'd expect a lot more scoring, but a good job by both wrestlers keeping it under control, and you just get that sense that Heber's I'm not choosing one side or the other, but you kind of think that he's ready for an explosive move coming.
Definitely has that feel in the way he's setting something up here, leading by 2, and just kind of have that feel with the way this Howard Lake Waverly Winstead team wrestles too as well.
Right, and he's just been the aggressive, and there he does. He kind of body locks. He went for the single. As he was backing up, they kind of went chest to chest, and he body locked, took him to his back. Now has got him twisting in kind of a bad way here, but Heber takes a 7-1 lead, 10 seconds remaining. So 10 seconds on the clock, 7-1, trying to pull him over. Not sure that the coaches really wanted him to do that at that point, but it was success. It was a failed attempt anyways. So Heber's going to take a 7-1 lead into 7-1 lead into the third. And Beto takes both up. So nice job by him to kind of see where his strength is. So again, nothing against the Badger Greenbush Middle River, but I really expecting some upper body type, something that we haven't seen yet out of Heber. Minute 35 remaining, and there's a nice shot, and the way to take that away is to to take a shot of your own. And so nice job, but there's a nice deep and elevator try there by Beto. Does it, is successful. And let's see what they award. 2 points. So now it's 7-3. So if you saw that elevator, he caught him. He kind of got a high waist and flipped him over the top and had him in a bad way, but where it was off the mat. Here comes a headlock. And nice job there by Heber. Kind of what you learn from elementary school is they tell you to sit in a chair, and he sat back and his head slipped right on through, and he gets that takedown. 9-3. Now he's going to try to get some back points here with 55 seconds remaining, looking for some bonus points, which may be key because you know what's in the back pocket of the Gators, as they have the number 1 rated wrestler and number 10 rated wrestler in the state at 220 in heavyweight. So you don't want to say advantage, but you almost got to think advantage as you get there. So these might be some big bonus points coming up here if Heber can make it happen with 30 seconds remaining. And a nice slip out there by Beto. And he did a nice job there. Now it's a 5-point, 20 seconds remaining. Looking for a takedown and right to their back, but now Heber's kind of left that aggressiveness, or maybe baiting him in. He gets into that double body lock. I didn't slide it all the way up into double unders. I was kind of waiting for the throw. So nice win by Heber there to stretch this lead a little bit to 28-12 as we're going into 160.
And 28-12 in favor of the Lakers. We apologize again not having the scoreboard, but we'll keep giving it to you as much as we can verbally as well as on our chat that is going on. But a nice victory there makes it 28-12 as we head into 160. Damian Tura against Brandon Knott for this one.
So Damian Tura, a 9th grader, against Brandon Knott, a 10th grader. So a nice matchup here, and 2 well-built young men out here on the match. And again, 28-12, but we've learned one thing is, man, that can get erased in a hurry depending on what you're at. And you know that Badger, like I said, has some coming, but Tura doing a great job kind of defending off that single leg, and now is in a bad spot here as a really strong ride. And man, this is some power by young Mr. Tura to not give up back points here, as he's got his legs and his hip going one way and his shoulders going the other way, but somehow bellies out of that. So nice job by Mr. Tura, and a great move there by Brandon Knott to take that 2-0 lead, but I'm sure he thought at the point that of the takedown he was going to have some back points. So 50 seconds remain, Tura down 2-0.
So a lot of people thinking just like you were, we're expecting to see some points given up, but nice job by Tura to just limit to just that takedown instead of the back points.
Right, and I don't understand it because I was never a wrestler, believe it or not. But when your hips are going one way and your shoulders are going the other way, it just doesn't make for a good experience, I wouldn't think. Now, cradle attempt there, and it looked like it was locked for just a minute or so there. And then Tura again breaks that. So good defensive wrestling by Tura. Roll the arms coming out, the arm bars in. Looks like that elbow tip going down, so let's see if Tura can defend this. He defends it by stepping up, but is returned to the mat. So one of the ways is to get to your base and step up, but Decker's doing a nice job of holding it there. But one of the things that happens is when you stand up, that arm kind of separates from your back, and then we head up potentially dangerous.
2-0 late in the first period, an exciting first period between these two, and it's Turo's trying to get the 1 point late.
looking for that last second escape there and almost had it. Another second or two on the clock. I think he would have had it. Choice goes to Decker. Decker says, I'll take down, leading 2-0, and his team leading 28-12 on the.
That might have been one of those moments where Decker was doing a nice job of wrestling with the clock and knowing what it was at.
Ooh. That was that looked almost like potentially dangerous. Tura's doing a good job. He's got a, that's a tough, there's the potentially dangerous. That's tough on the knees when you come down, and a great job of sportsmanship. Great job of sportsmanship by Tura there as he turned around, and man, that's what you want to see in the sport of wrestling. Everybody knows how hard you're working, and nothing is intentional, and that certainly wasn't, so nice job there. These two, for a 2-0 score, has been a real exciting match, and maybe one of my favorite ones of the night so far. A minute 20 left on the clock here in the second period. Tura, just a great, and Decker, both wrestlers working for position. Single leg by Tura. Decker's coming over the top, looking for a cradle. So this is quite the. They're tangled up right now, and Decker does slip out of that and gets the 2-point takedown. Tura is still fighting, so 4-0 lead for Decker with 50 seconds remaining in the second period. So Decker is really tough on top. He's heavy on the shoulders. He works a lot. He's got power half in. One of the things that I'm impressed with is Tura's strength. As he, out of these, you don't see many people just try to stand up out of him. And what he does with that now is he gets Decker off balance, and they end up out of bounds. So a restart was probably about the best you could ask for if you're in Tura's situation. So 4-0 lead for Decker. 31 seconds remaining here in the second period. And I apologize. It's Brandon Knott, not Decker. Looked at my wrong underline on my score sheet, so I apologize. So Brandon Knott, he looks like he was going to get back points there. And somehow Tura is staying out of these back points, and I don't know how, because Brandon Knott is really, really heavy on the shoulders right now. So it looks like it's going to be a 4-0 lead in favor of Knott going into the third period. Again, your team score is 28 for the Lakers, 12 for the Gators. Knott takes the down position. Return to the mat. Had a quick stand up there. Return to the mat. Nice job again by Tura. Looked like he was getting a little high. Maybe trying to set up his cradle. Not doing a great job. Just kind of grabbing those hands and controlling them. Kind of looking that crossface. He's holding that crossface in. Looking for that cradle on there. It looked like he kind of hooked it up. But now it's separated again. Again, we're down to a minute 5 on the clock. So 4-0 lead. And we've kind of hit a stalemate here. And I would expect to see maybe a stalemate if neither wrestler makes advantage here pretty soon. But nice ride by Tura, but trying to break down. Oh, here we go. Little tilt action trying to happen. 45 seconds remaining. And a nice job, and I think it was a little bit of a desperation move by Tura, and Knott just seemed to be in the right place at the right time. And now he goes back to that ride, and Knott is, for a 10th grader, has a powerful, powerful ride. 15 seconds remaining. again, score 6-0. So definitely Tura does not want to give up any back points here.
Well, this is a key moment we talked about with some of the guys that are coming up for BGMR. If you're Howard Lake Waverly Winstead, you want to try to extend that lead as much as you possibly can, and able to do that here.
Right, and a nice match by each. It was a fun one to call. Brandon Knott with the victory, 6-0, runs that score to 31-12. So if you are the Gators, you're hoping now is the time you have to start making a little bit of a run here, or it's not going to matter if you have the 2 at the end. Isaac Bussey gets a forfeit win, which throws it to 37-12. And separation's happening here a little bit, but let's see what comes up. As I know there's some bonus points waiting in the wings for the Gators.
37-12 the score as we head into 182.
So Tyler Grosick, a 9th grader, out on the mat for the Lakers, and Caleb Vakura, a junior. Caleb Vakura was 3rd in sections last year, 33-11, and again a tough schedule. Currently rated 9th in the Class A in the guillotine, and he's got armbar right in off the takedown. And here's where they're trying to make up a little hay. We're at 182 pounds, so it's not too late yet, but it's going to have to happen soon. And pretty tight here, using his leg to kind of bully over, and now chest to chest, and that's usually not a good situation with 1:08 remaining, but good fight here for Grisick as he was battling, but 58-second fall there for Caleb Vakura, and so that tightens our score to 37-18 heading into 195.
Vakura was as advertised, and nice victory there. You'll see as Colton Long comes out for the Lakers. And it's Nathan Waggy for the Gators.
So Waggy, a junior, against Colton Long, a 9th grader. So again, by age, you're probably thinking if you're the Gators, you're looking for some points here, and we would roll into 220 and a heavyweight and see where it goes. And there's no for sure. Dominic Vakura is definitely a returning state champ, but Danny Mossford coming up is a returning state and ranked 9th at 220. So 1 versus 9. Let's hope it happens. We've got excited over a lot of these matches in the past, Jason, and for one reason or another, they get bumped out of them. So kind of a key match right here is I think they have to pin their way out, and it's still, let's see.
The math I'm getting, it's team-wise, it's over.
Yep. I was just doing it myself, and I thought they still had a chance to tie, but nope, 18-18, and by old Verndale math is 36. So now we're wrestling for pride again.
I'm not going to lie, I was partially distracted by a delivery that came up in the middle of the match.
I'm just not looking at you. We love covering wrestling. The hard part is we're here 3:30 setting up, and we don't usually get done till about 10, and there's no food except for the pizza that arrived right next to me that my partner is now chewing on, and just loud enough for me to hear in my headset. So I'll thank him for that. 25 seconds remaining, and a 0-0 score and a nice match here. A couple nice shots, and now front headlock happening for Colton Long. And this is one of the wrestlers that didn't get a win against the Yellow Jackets, but I remember him coming out and Jason going, wow, this is a freshman. And again, impressive athletes for both squads. And just really impressed by the Howard Lake Waverly Winstead Lakers and how put together their young men are. That's the end of the first period, 0-0 score. So we have choice to the Gators, and they defer. And Long says, "I'll go down," and quick in the you never hope for a defensive pin, but it's one of those scary situations when you go straight back and your shoulders are exposed to the mat. But here comes Waggy trying to put he's got the tilt in. And looks like he's going to get a 5 count. And now he repositions, but then Long tries for the headlock, but this is tight now, and I would guess official's going to get down here pretty soon and start looking. And there's the fall, and this is going to be one of those that 1 point one way or another. So you start to think if you're up at the 106, 113, your match doesn't matter. Well, it's going to count big time here as we're tightening up. It's a 37-24 as we head into 220. And we're going to get that matchup, Jason. Danny Mossford, who is now rated 9th in the state of Minnesota, versus Caleb Vakira, last year's state champion and rated number 1 in the state of Minnesota. Mossford shot by Vakira there, and Mossford front headlocks him. And Vakira, we touched on it earlier, signed with NDSU to start wrestling advance his wrestling career next year. In on a deep single there. Nice job just sliding by, getting to the back, and you can just tell nothing against Danny Mossford, but really nice looking athlete in Dominic Vakira.
I believe this is the second or third NDSU Bison recruit we've had come through our gym this year in competition, and they've all come and have been as advertised when they're on the mat here.
Right.
Mossford gets a point there.
Gets the escape, and we're back up. And again, watch Mossford wrestle the first time. I was kind of waiting for some more offense out of him, and that may not be his forte, and that's kind of the disadvantage we have of not seeing these teams as often as we would like. So a shot there again by Vakira. Kind of a unique style for a 220-pounder to go after those low single legs. You usually see that upper body stuff, kind of like we saw the last match where they do a lot of pummeling, grabbing onto the head, doing those collar ties, trying to wear them out. And Vakira wrestles more like a lighter weight wrestler, and here he's got head wrapped up, 8 seconds remaining, so I don't know if he'll have enough time to finish this off or not. But nice job there by Mossford to grab back in, and Vakira takes a 4-1 lead into the second. It is the Lakers' choice, and Mossberg takes down. We'll see what Vakira does here. He is going to cover up. I didn't know if he'd go optional or try to just cut him and go the takedown, but nice job there, and you see some fancy, some quick feet and some quick hands.
Well, the first thing to comment on his footwork there. He was quick and taking Monster right back down on the mat.
Yeah, that's fun to see when that happens. And like I said, you know, Mossberg is rated number 9 in the state, obviously an accomplished wrestler and doing a great job. Here he's against the defending state champion, and it's 4-1 in the second period with 1:20 remaining. And now it's 4-2. So good job by Mossford in fighting that off and not giving up more points.
And no matter the results here, if you're Mossford, there's a lot you can take away from this, because this is a guy you may see in a month, or not even a month, in about 2-3 weeks potentially again.
And there's the fireworks I was waiting for Mossford in the last match. And he takes Vakira down, ties the score, then cuts him. So a little bit of his own medicine going, hey, here we go. And so Vakira answers that challenge, steps up in there, and gets the takedown. So 7-4 after the escape takedown for Vakira. 40 seconds remain in the second period. And nice job. Nice flurry by Mossford there to get into that takedown situation. Did a great job. Now Vakir is trying to put, it's hard for you to see at home. It's hard for me to see, but he's trying to put that arm and elevate that arm in the back.
And a unique tidbit just brought to us is he picked up his 200th win recently as well.
Nice. Yeah, so that's an accomplishment on the mat. If it even, to get 200 wins, it used to be 100. Now you see more and more kids. We talked about Jack Fudge getting his 175th and 200 wins, and kind of cut short this year a little bit, where they would maybe have 40 matches. Now you have 20. And you can see from his record last year, 52-1. Well, you're a quarter of a way there in 1 year. That's pretty awesome.
So going to set up for what I think is going to be an exciting third period here. 37-24 is your team score, but the match score is 7-4 right now. 4-0.
Boy, that's some serious quickness there for a guy that's put together like that. And you can see where the Bison will be really excited to get him. Probably won't change colors all that much, but in on a single, another takedown. So he got the escape takedown, so he leads 10-4, and Mossford's doing a great job, but let's see what happens here. We got 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. I didn't know if he would go on the cut takedown game here and do it or try to get some back points, and it looks like Vakira is going to try for back points. I would guess he'll try to get back points till about 1 minute or so remaining, and then maybe start playing the takedown game. So let's see what happens here as we get going. But nice job by both groups tonight, and it's fun to watch good wrestling, and it sure goes by fast when you have two competitive good squads going against each other like we do tonight.
We'll also set up a new stream for the next bout, which will feature Badger, Greenbush, Middle River, and the Yellow Jackets as they honor their parents prior to that. Might give you a chance to have a little bit of a breather this time as they honor the parents before our final bout tonight.
For those of you wondering, my co-partner over here is slicing down a slice of pepperoni pizza, which smells good, and I'm sure will taste delicious if we get a little break here. But great job of wrestling here by both men. Mossford's kind of taking that, not trying to give up more points, and doing a nice job of it. And Vakira's still working heavy on the shoulders. You can see where he could get into those tight matches at the state tournament, and his ability to ride and just his quick feet never put him out of position. So this was a good match. Takedowns for both guys. If you're Mossford, you got something to build on. I could see both of these guys on the podium coming in another month here.
I completely agree. It was a great match that we anticipated, and a lot for, I think, Mossford to build on going forward in his season. And in full disclosure, I am saving you some of this great sliced pizza that was delivered.
That's very kind of you.
Oh, and that is now his 205th win and school record.
Right, and that brings a standing ovation from his teammates and from a lot of the fans, and he has been fun to watch, and it will continue to be fun to watch him as he goes further in his career here.
And good luck to the next guy trying to capture that record, because that's going to grow by a few more and potentially quite a bit more on the way through.
So we have Dusky, who wrestled a really nice match in the first round against the Yellow Jackets, and we have Beto, Dawson Beto, a senior, and Beto, I just looked up, is currently rated number 10 in Class A in the guillotine. So he also looks more like a 220 wrestler, Jason, maybe more than a heavyweight wrestler, but definitely skilled when you're rated number 10 in the state, and what a nice problem to have. I think you can bump either guy. If he can wrestle at 220, you can do some interchanging, because I do not think there are many heavyweights that are really going to want to wrestle Dominic Vakira either. So nice little option there for the Gators. 37-27 is the team score in favor of the Lakers. Another great match. It didn't come down to the heavyweight match. but another great match, and we'll see how in the next one with the Yellow Jackets, how the Badger Greenbush Middle River Gators match up. So 0-0 here with 30 seconds remaining in the 285 contest.
We're being informed that this is Leo Dusky on the mat,
All right.
an 8th grader.
And we don't have Leo Dusky on we just have Jacob. So I heard Dusky. So again, Jason, you talk about the size and the sheer power of some of the young men here for the Lakers. And here's another example of they've got some nice young athletes coming through. So takedown for Beto.
This is Jacob's younger brother, an 8th grader.
Nice.
As we're being informed, we'd like to thank the people that are following along, watching, and helping us out here on the chat tonight on the Magnitude Sports Network. We apologize that we don't have our normal scoreboard due to technical difficulties, but we thank you for tuning in. We're trying to update as much as we can in the chat and as well as verbally throughout tonight and into tomorrow for the fans that will be back here at the Hive tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, we really appreciate all the commentary and all the help of tonight. We're only as good as the information we get, and sometimes that's not the greatest. So nice job here by Dusky. And, yeah, I am just super impressed, Jason, with these Lakers. And my guess is they're going to have a pretty powerful football team maybe in the future as well. I hate to make that assumption, but some nice size, good athletes. And there's the escape for Dusky, making it 2-1. And again, Beto is currently ranked 10 in Class A. So a nice showing here for the 8th grader with a minute to go in the second period.
And team score, this one is wrapped up team-wise as it's 37-27 in favor of the Lakers. As Beto goes for a throw there on the near side. Under a minute to go in the second period. As they tie up in the middle of the mat.
.35 seconds remaining here, period number 2. 2-1 score in favor of Beto. And real impressed with this Dusky. And that's why, Jacob, I don't want to go back to the last match, but I was watching two guys, and then I thought it was one guy because they were running opposite directions where we couldn't see them, and they looked pretty similar because we're far enough away that we couldn't see them. Well, now it's kind of making sense to me. So thank you, listeners, for helping us out with that. And 20 seconds remain, period number 2. 2-1 Beto. And nice job by Dusky, the 8th grader, working, doing some nice job on some collar ties, heavy on the head, and kind of taking Beto out of his game. And that's the end of the second period, so we'll go to the third. It is Beto's choice, and Beto's going to take down. So Dusky will cover, and looking for a quick escape maybe. Dusky, we'll see if he can flatten him out, hold him, and keep him on his belly. We got caution there on Green, and Green would be Dusky. So first caution, so no big warning there, but nice job. Look at how heavy he got on those shoulders right away, using that leverage up on his tiptoes. Definitely well schooled on what he wants to do here. And working hard as we're going on. Beto gets back to his base, but is broken down instantly. Great pressure there by Dusky, and certainly not wrestling like an 8th grader right now. And here comes Beto, kind of sits out, trying to spin, gets back to his base, and minute 18, and reaches back, grabs the leg, so this could end up in 2, and it does, a reversal of 2. He throws the arm bar in, and now he's got Dusky in some trouble after Dusky did such a great job this whole match. And back points are awarded. He's tightening, Beto is tightening this up, and we could be, he hops over, gets chest to chest now, and that looks pretty tight, and there is the fall, and what a great job by Dusky, but Beto in the end uses some craftsmanship to get himself a pin and shrinks that score up to 37-33. So a win here by the Lakers, 37-33. Tight matches in both of these triangulars, and it'll just look forward to the next one. So I think we'll take a commercial break here, Jason. We'll come back and kind of wrap up what we saw, and we'll get you set up for the next matchup.
Hi, I'm Jen Hendrickson, mortgage lender at United Community Bank. Whether you're buying, building, or refinancing, we are here to help you through the process and answer all of your questions. Mortgage rates are great right now. You can check out our website at ucbankmn.com to get pre-approved, sign up for Rate Watch, and check out our mortgage rate calculators. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
United Community Bank.
Oh, we're back here at the Hive. Howard Lake Waverly Winstead picking up a 37-33 victory over Badger Greenbush Middle River in our second match. We have one more left to go tonight, which we'll start a new stream for that one between Perham and Badger Greenbush Middle River. But first of all, I want to thank you all for tuning in and helping us out tonight with the broadcast here from the Hive. And Lance, this Howard Lake Waverly Winstead team, very nice squad that they brought here tonight.
Exactly, and it's been fun. And again, I want to do two things all at once. I want to apologize first for the name screw-ups. We're only as good as the information we're given. Second, I want to compliment the fans from Howard Lake Waverly Winston that are tuned in. Thanks for helping us out all the way along the way. It's appreciated more than you'll ever know. And I think both squads, whatever team you were cheering for tonight, these have been two fun duels so far. Kind of wish we could have had that set up where it could have went to heavyweight again. Probably a good thing it didn't for the Lakers. What a nice squad, and no doubt of where they stand with a 15-8 record and where they're at in Section 4A is that they'll be a team to be reckoned with. I am certain, especially if they get a couple more pieces back the way it sounds. So it was a really fun match. There were so many matches within the match, and so some good things happening. So I think we're going to sign off because it looks like they're going to shift the mat over. Once the JV is done, we're going to go to the center. If you're sitting at home and you have nothing else to do, we would enjoy the Laker fans to come back and join us for the next one. But congratulations to you, and I know the bus ride will be a whole lot sweeter for the Lakers as they go 2-0 on this evening.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, simply visit msportsnet.com/DVD.